We are your home theater and AV questions answered. This is AVRant. Want your home theater or AV question answered by Tom and Rob? Send it to question@avrant.com. Welcome to AVRant. I'm Tom Andry, and I'm here with
Rob H.
Henry. This comes from Twitter. Henry says his front, left, and right speakers read 76 dB after calibrating their levels. What level should you set for his SVS SB1000 subwoofer? If he attempts to make a subwoofer read 76 dB, he ends up with his trim level set at plus 12 dB. Is this okay? Technically it is, but okay. Why don't you just turn the volume knob up on this SVS? Because that's what you're basically doing.
Might be because he read the very common advice of set your subwoofer's volume knob to the midway point and then use the trim level to adjust, which is advice you see all over the web. So I wouldn't blame you.
Yeah, don't do that. Set your trim level to 0 and then adjust your volume knob till you get close to whatever the rest of the things you're calibrating to, which in this case is 76 for whatever reason. And then if you don't feel like getting behind your subwoofer because it's off by 2 dB, then use your trim levels to adjust it.
Yeah, I want to point out a few things. Since he's getting a reading, I'm assuming you're using some sort of SPL meter, a sound pressure level meter. Yeah. You want to make sure that that is a C-weighted SPL meter, right, and set it to the slow response time so that the needle or the readout isn't jumping all over the place and you can't get a somewhat stable reading. So C-weighted, slow response on your SPL meter. You play the test tones out of your AV receiver. You go into the speaker settings. You go into the speaker levels. That's what we call your trim levels. And that will play a test tone one at a time out of each of your speakers. You should, even though you shouldn't have to, but you should, prior to going into that setup menu, set your master volume so it reads 0 dB on the front panel, because we have discovered many AV receivers, the test tone levels actually do change with the master volume.
Many.
So
many?
Yeah.
Are we going with many?
Currently. Yours does. Mine does.
Mine doesn't.
Yeah, it does.
The X4000? No, it doesn't.
X4000 totally. Try it, dude. Totally does.
I haven't done it in a long time.
It shouldn't. It's dumb, but that's something you need to do. Master volume set to 0 dB, should be at reference volume. Then you play the test tones. Then you look at your SPL meter. And everything, your subwoofer included, should read 75 dB. That's what the test tones are calibrated to read. So it should read 75 dB. And yeah, use the volume knob on the back of your SVS. It's not the end of the world if you do end up at plus 12 dB. That's the max of the scale as far as I know. It's not like you're going to hurt anything if that's how you got there.
No, you're not. But it
shouldn't be necessary.
Necessary to do that. It doesn't give you any ability to adjust it up higher if something. If you decide you want to goose it a little bit at some point. So you want to keep it closer to. I like to keep it just close to 0. Whatever the 0 trim level is, I like to keep it close to that. Yep. Sometimes it'll set a little bit higher, sometimes it'll set a little bit lower, but whatever. Want your question answered? Send it to question@avrant.com. This is AVRant.
Now go out and listen to something.